Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Today I am in an event with the Take 5 group over in Facebook, and I'm going to be streaming on Facebook and on YouTube today. So if you are seeing comments that you don't see, then they're probably coming from the other platform. And so, I know sometimes that can be a little bit confusing, but that's all that is. And I'm sorry I had a glitch at the last minute, and so that is going to cause me to not come on camera today. I had a problem with one of my cameras. So, that's not a deal breaker for me. So, we are going to just go ahead and you can see the important stuff. You don't have to always be looking at me. And so I know I know people say sometimes they like seeing my face up there in the corner, but it's not always necessary. So I apologize for not the normal view today, but we'll be fine. And so today we're going to make this fun little folio, and it's going to even have a little notepad in it. And so that's why I've got just some plain white paper here today. That's what we're going to use to make our notepad, part of it. So we have to, do that and make our, so we've got some note paper, right? We always want to have some note paper. So I'm so glad that you are joining me today. So I'm Kristi from My Artful Adventures. And again, we are in an event with the Take 5 Facebook group. And we call it our Friday Friends. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I tell you, we call it Friday Friends Creative Event. There we go. I got it all out. But this is the paper that I'm going to use. And if I get through, I've got a second little folio that I want to show you. And we could use either one of these actually. Oh, maybe I'll use this for my first one that I want to show you. But before we get started, we're going to start by making our, getting part of our little notepad ready. So we'll have to have some glue on that and let it dry for the paper. So I'm going to cut some sections out that are 3 by 4. And so since these sheets are 8.5 inches wide, I'm going to go ahead and start by just taking off a 1/2 inch to start with. So, and I want to try to cut more than one page at once. So I'm just going to bump it over here to the 8-inch mark and just trim that off to start with. Yeah, that's 3 pieces, so that's not bad. So let's see, if I do that and then we do them at, well, I tell you what, let's go ahead and cut it this way too. So we're going to cut them, I want 3 by 4 sections is what I'm going for. So if we cut those in half, that'll be 4 inches. And then we're going to cut 3-inch sections off of here. Let me move my scissors over. How are you guys doing today? Can you believe we're getting so close to Christmas? It's just hard to believe. So very close. We've just had so many things going on here that I'm not really ready. I'm not ready. But it's going to come anyway, and we'll have a good time. So because that paper is 11.5 inches, I'm going to be able to get 3 sections off of here. And that's just going to be a scrap. So hi, Mary and Jeannie. Oh, it is really morning. When you are out on that farther in that West Coast time zone, it is early. Okay. So these again are like little 3 by 4 sections. Sometimes if it want to cut, oh, that kind of messed up. Sometimes if you're cutting several sheets like this, if you start so that it doesn't grab and kind of run into the thing, if you kind of start more inside your paper and work out, sometimes that'll help a little bit. Okay, I think that's going to be plenty. Whoops, something's not right. What happened there? Oh, I guess it just wasn't lined up good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stack these up, get them all even as I can. And I'm just going to put some little clips on. That doesn't seem... Let me try this. There we go. Just put some little clips on so that it holds it in place. You don't want it all moving around. And now to make our... Actually, I want to put them closer up here so it holds this part very tight. That doesn't look as flat as I want. You want it to be kind of flat. Actually, this end looks more squared up. Let's do this end instead. Sometimes. All right. And now all you're going to do is take a little bit of liquid glue and just run it across here and just rub it on, and then just let it dry. And then you've made your own little notepad that you can tear off the pages. That'll actually just stick them together good enough, right? Okay. Let's put a little bit more on in case those aren't too flat. I'm just going to rub my finger just to the sides there. And now I'm just going to set that off to the side so it can dry. And that's all we need for that. And then when we're ready for that, it will be completely dry and ready to use. Let me wipe the glue off. All right. So now we're ready to get started on our little folio. We got way more paper than I needed. You don't want it to get too thick because, I mean, you can make any size of that you want, but you don't want it to get too thick or you'll have problems with something. You'll have problems. You'll just have problems. Okay, now then, when you take we're going to make this out of a 12 by 12 piece of paper. And what you want to do is decide where you want your cover, because whatever is going to be like in this top right hand section, that's the easiest way to explain where we're going to look to have our corner that's going to be on the front cover. So that's the easiest way that I know to explain that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cut off 3.5 inches at the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to just flip it around here and cut off 3.5 inches. And I'm using this today because we got a bunch of scoring to do too. So I'm going to set that off to the side. And now in this section that we've got, we want to cut off another inch. So I'm going to flip it around here because I want to leave this corner. I want that to be my front. And I'm going to cut off another inch. Well, I should have flipped it around this way. Although it goes up to an inch right here. It's kind of hard to see. But you can measure from that direction too. And I tell you what, if you are ever in the market to get a new paper trimmer, make sure that is something that you can do, is to cut those, let's see, I'm way out of whack here. I'm just following this line down here, so I'm really out of whack. It's probably why one day I made something and I had a hard time getting it squared up. But I would really suggest when you're in the market for a new paper trimmer to make sure that you can measure going out this way too. I have a couple of really, really nice paper trimmers that have like the blade. It's got a metal disc cutter, but you can't go off this way. And so sometimes it's really handy when you can measure more out that direction, especially if you've got small pieces of paper that you're trying to, cut small increments off, because a lot of times it'll have a metal part right in here. And so for things that are like less than an inch, you can't even see it. So that's why it's kind of nice when you've got both sides and you can see all the increments all along there. Hello, Erin. How are you? And Melanie, thank you for joining us today. Okay, so now we're ready to get to our scoring. Let me grab a stylus here. Okay, so now we're going to score at, and then I'm going to fix this so it's ready for scoring. Got to bump it up here. Okay, so we are going to score at, let's see, at 3 and 7. That doesn't even seem right, you guys. 3 and 7. This is 11 inches. Oh my goodness, you guys. I wonder if I have just done something really goofy and written down something that is not going to be helpful at all. 3 and 7. Well, okay, I'm going to do it. Hopefully, wait a second. I think I want to flip it over and do the 3 inches here and the 7 inches. Okay, and then we're going to turn it this way and score 3 inches at the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and score those both directions because I would much rather score a couple of times on each side so that I get an easy fold instead of, I don't want to have my paper breaking. So 3 and 7. Oh my goodness. I hope I have not done something really crazy, you guys. How embarrassing to do it while you're showing people how to make something. Let me put my trimmer out of the way a second. All right. So let's go ahead and get going. So we are going to, first of all, turn this way and this goes up this way, and this is going to fold this direction. And what I like to do here is cut this little section on this score line and just cut it on both edges on to the side of each of those score marks. Or it's only one score mark, sorry. And that's going to allow this, when we fold it, it's going to allow it to fold a lot easier. And then I'm just going to take my little snips and cut this part off. I don't like to tear them. If I think about it, I don't like to tear it because sometimes you can really mess up what you're doing. It tears more than you planned on. Okay, and now this section here, we need to cut out this whole square. So I'm just going to cut here. All right. Let's fold this way. Okay, that was correct. Okay, and now bring this in and fold it. Here's our score line. Bring the corner down and make your little triangle square like that, okay? And then we're just going to snip that off. I'm going to cut it on this side because I can kind of see my line better on this side. All right. Now, I also think what I want to do is do some corner rounding. Let me grab my corner rounder. Okay. So let's just do, I think I'm going to try to do the 1/2 inch size. We're just kind of cut these corners and give them a little curve. Just for a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. I just really liked I like curved corners. I don't know about you guys. And then I'm going to cut the corners. And then this one. Make sure to get in there. Okay, so we've got all those corners. And I think while I've got it out, I'm going to go ahead and ink it some. Thanks for sharing me out, you guys. I appreciate that. So let's go ahead and just give it a little bit of ink on some of the edges. It doesn't take long. You can either ink or not ink. It's just up to you. I just kind of like the way that it looks. Just kind of gives it a little something something. How many of you are inkers? Give me some hearts if you're an inker. Give me a thumbs up if you are not. Oh, that's going to be hidden. I don't need to do that part. Sometimes when you've got these pieces of paper and you're inking them, trying to get them inked before you fold them up, you start inking places that don't really even need to be inked, right? But that's okay. And I'm going to kind of just put some along here. Sometimes you almost need to do both sides of a fold if you're going to have it show very well. And then this is the side that's going to show. So let's do that one. Let's see what we've got going on here. Okay. I'm going to ink this because this will show inside. I tell you, this doesn't take really all that long to make one of these, and I think it's so cute. I think it would be a great thing to even have to pop in your purse and have a little thing to put notes in. How many of you carry a little notepad in your purse? I try to remember to. Oh, I got one more corner that needs to be snipped. Make sure I got the right side. Get that out of my way. There we go. That's one thing I like about these is because you can go through several layers and get it snipped off, and it really works well. Okay, so that's that for this part, and so we are going to go ahead and start doing some gluing. So on this section, we're just going to glue both sides of these folders, the little fold ups at the bottom. So we'll just fold that down, press that in. This one we'll just put a little glue here on its two sides. Fold that up. Press that back down there. So quiet today. It's quiet in my house too. That's almost scary. If it gets quiet in here. Okay, so now we've got that, and now we're going to take this little section. Oops, let me see which way. And we're going to put it down here, which means I need to round that corner. Well, well, I don't know. Let's see. Oh my goodness. You know what? I might need to just do that one by hand, you guys. That might be kind of tricky to put that in. That maybe didn't need to be a rounded corner on this pocket. Let me just snip that to kind of follow that line out. Okay. And let's get a little ink on that one. How many of you use let me know if you do inking, do you use the brushes or do you use these foam blending tools? I have both, and I really could never, I never had much luck using the foam blending tools until they came out with the domed applicators. Now I'm going to just put along the bottom and up one side so it can be a tuck spot like that. And then on this side we're going to use this for a pocket. So let's corner around these two. Let's see, is that right? And this one, yeah. Make sure I'm rounding the right corners. Put a little bit of ink on this. And this will be a little side pocket. But yeah, how many of you like to use have a little notepad in your purse of some type? I think they're just so handy. And if you can have a little notepad with, you know, some other little pockets or something, then I think that is even more convenient, and you can pop in some receipts or, you know, whatever you need to keep track of instead of having it just loose in your bag. Okay, so now we've got that piece. We've got this piece here. And now off of here, let's cut like 5 inches off of this and use it for a journal card. Where's my trimmer? And I think to use for a journal card, I'm just going to go ahead and cut this side. I never get this in right. It always takes me like 2 times. Donna. Oh, Donna's up early. She's on the West Coast too. She says she loves a notepad, and if she lets someone use a purse pin and they don't return. I know. I tell you, sometimes I've had some pens that people will use and they go, oh, that's a really nice pen. That writes really nice. And I'll say yes, and I'll watch you until you hand it back to me. Sometimes I don't like to have my nice pens with me because I am horrified that I will lose them. I can even lose them in the house, you guys. So to have them out and about horrifies me. But I do like a nice pen. And I tell you what, and the paper can make a real difference writing. Of course, I don't really try to do a lot of handwriting these days. I have, you know, used a keyboard and typed for so many years that my handwriting is atrocious. I can barely read my own handwriting when I write something these days. But if I do need to write something, that's why I was saying the other day, like some of the, like the card base and envelopes that come like from, I know, close to my heart. Also, I know the ones from Stampin' Up! Are the same. They have the most wonderful paper to write on. Like if you go to write somebody's address or write a note in the card, oh my goodness, it is just the creamiest, nicest thing to write on. And so now we're just going to slide these in here, and we've got this little place for a note card. So now we've got a pocket here. We've got this pocket right here. I don't have any hands. And one trick is if you glue this and it's too tight, and notice if you're going to do corners, like rounded corners, you really don't want to glue clear around the corner, and it probably would have been better if I would have just left these two squared off. But if it's too tight, go in here and just kind of give it just a little bit of help to open that up some, so that you can do that and not really, break your glue seal, but it will give you just enough room to, kind of be able to get things in and out without it being too tight. Okay, so that's kind of a helpful little thing to know. Okay, so there's one. So now we've got a side pocket here, and then so let's move on to the front. And well, wait, let's see. Okay, this we're going to use for our notepad. So let's go ahead and see, we want to make sure that this will slide in here. We're going to put our notepad right here. And so that works good. And we're going to pull this down here. So actually, I might just look at that and give it a fold. Well, you can, match it up here. So that's one way. So I'm not even going to have to worry about a measurement on there. I'm just going to eyeball it and do that. Okay, and now let's put so we've got our little notepad that we have made. And see, look, it's, it's all glued together there. So we've got little tear off pads. But what I'm going to do is I am going to glue this in here. And I've got plenty of room. I've got about 1/4 inch on both sides. I am going to put this to where it'll actually flip up. And you can bump this down here so you've got more of your paper, but I kind of thought it would be fun to pop it up. Because if we don't glue this down, it's just going to be flapping in the breeze, So let's just go ahead and put some glue. So the front one will be adhered to the this top section. Oh, I should have, you know what? Let's round these corners just by hand, just to give them a tiny little, and I should have already done that, you guys. I don't know if I can get to, oh, sure. I'll flip it over. Just a tiny bit I'm going to cut. Now this one I can do from this side. Just do all this flip-flopping around and we'll be able to manage. Okay. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. So we've got that. I'm going to put a little bit more here. I got it down a little bit too low. So we'll put that on there. And then let's go ahead and corner around the bottom of this too. And when you've got things that you're sliding into these pockets, when you round the corners, it really helps. It's not so hard to get them in there. So now we've got our whole little pocket. And I'm going to leave my notes here. I'm going to just leave them out. And slide this in. There we go. I was trying to put it in deeper. Didn't go any deeper. So now we've got our little notes there. And then you can just, move it up. You got your little pocket here. And we're going to do another thing too. And I need to take this out. So with our piece right here, we're going to make like a little belly band here on the front. And I think this is about 5 inches. But you know what? Instead of doing any measuring like that, I'm going to put this on here and get it straight on here first. And then I'm just going to bend it over into the back. I'm not going to score it. I'm just going to use this part and get it straight. Now just bend it. And then kind of, you know, make sure it's straight. And I know it doesn't go, for some reason, well, it's because it bends over here. And now we've got about the amount that it takes the paper to actually come in and bend. It is off that much. But you can put something cute right there, you know, to be able to cover that up if it bothers you. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and ink it a little bit. It doesn't really bother me. Carol, I use reptile glue. I really like it. It works great for crafts. I have heard that it was developed to be used for doing tile work. And I don't know who decided it was great for crafting and paper crafts, but I'm thankful for them because it gives you, you know, that when you use liquid glue, you've got just that minute to get things glued into place, or, you know, maneuver it around a little bit. I don't know, this is kind of a little bit crooked, you guys. I'm going to leave it. I think, you know, well, for one thing, it's going to be covered up right there. So this gives you another little tuck spot right here. We got all kinds of places to tuck things in. Yeah, thanks, Erin. I like this little project. And so we've got that. And so, like I said, then you can just decorate it and do whatever you want to and get that all squared away. But I think this is a lot of fun. And then here's that glue that you were asking about, Carol. It's called reptile glue. And I know as we go into colder weather, there comes a time when they don't want to ship it out if it's too, you know, cold. I think if the weather's going to be under 40, they don't like to do that. But so here we've got our little notepad and all these goodies. So I hope you like that. And now I've got another one. Yeah, Erin, I think it'd be a great little gift. I wouldn't mind getting something like that. So you know, for those of you who like to do paper crafts, you can imagine all the little goodies that you can tuck in here, and you know, just you can decorate it to your heart's content. So I've got another one that I'm going to show you real quick. This is kind of fun too. So we've got plenty of time to do this one, I think. So you can actually do this with a piece that is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And I know a lot of companies, you know, sell their colored card stock in that size. So you could just use a piece that was colored cardstock for, you know, for something like this too. Or I think it would be cool just to use like in a piece of craft. I think that would be fun too. This paper is pretty sturdy, and I don't mind, you know, using it to make some of these, you know, folios and things out of. I think it's plenty sturdy for that. So what I'm going to do is I need to have my, but it needs to be, I'm going to make it 8 and a, let's see, well, we can just leave it. Okay, so 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to cut off my 11, or cut it down to 11. Let's see. Let me think about this for a second, because part of it is going to be on a front section. So again, we'd be folding this way and then over a tiny bit. So if we did it this way, no, I think again you want what you want on your front cover, except this is going to have a little flap, and so the flap is going to, you know, cover this a little bit, but I think we'll be fine. So let's cut off, we need it to be 11 inches. So let's cut it down. We're just going to cut an inch off of here. Whoops. Gotta make sure you don't bump it all out of the way. don't know what. I really have a hard time following down and making sure I'm in the right spot on here. But this way I don't have to wrangle another thing to score with. And then I'm trying to see, because I know part of this. Now, I think we're going to bend this up as well. And so when we bend it, some of this script is going to be upside down anyway. So I'm going to cut it at 8.5. Okay, and now we're going to score. So let me flip this back over to score. So now along your long edge, we're going to score it at, where's my score? There it is. We're going to score it at, this thing scores backwards than what I'm used to doing. Hang on just a second, you guys. If I score this at 9 3/4, that does not seem right. Again, I'm looking at measurements I wrote. 1, 2, 3. 2, well, you know what? If I mess it up, we'll just, I'm going to do it this way. Nine 3/8. Nope, I'm just going to do it this way. Okay, you guys, here we go. So we're going to do it at 3. I'm so sorry. Nothing like somebody acting like they have any clue what they're doing. And then 3 1/4, and then 6 and 6 1/4. Whoops, I'm out of the groove. And then 9 1/2. See, this does not seem right. 9 1/2. Oh, yes, it does. This is our, okay. Oh, my goodness. This is the flat for the front. Okay. So 9 1/2 and 9 3/4. Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm glad I did decide to flip it back this way. Okay. And now I'm just going to go this side and do it again. So we'll just start over here. So if you're writing them down. So 3 1/4. 6 1/4, and then we've got 9 1/2 and 9 3/4. Okay, and then we're going to flip it around this way, and this side, oh, well, we cut this off. We cut another section off. So on this section, I want the bottom cut off. So here's my bottom. Okay, so I want cut off 3. Oh my goodness, hang on one second. 8 1/4. Nope. 8 1/4. Cut off 2 7/8. 2 7/8. So 2 7/8. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, now we're cooking, you guys. All right, so we're going to go ahead and fold all the little scores. Well, today I guess I'm glad I didn't have myself on camera. I'd just be sitting here looking confused. So, all right. And I'm going to go ahead and ink these up a little bit too. I think that'll be pretty. So just a little bit. Now you're going to be surprised what we do with some of that we've cut off. So the nice thing about this is by scoring it like that and then cutting the section off, we have eliminated like scoring our small pieces that we're going to use. We're going to make kind of a waterfall section. And so that did not even, oh, you guys, I'm afraid I've done something goofy. What in the world? Oh, no. We're good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are cutting off one whole section here. You have to cut where, let me put a little ink so you can see what I'm talking about. This is probably, I have probably confused myself more on this project than any I have done in a super long time. Okay, now we're going to cut this section off with we've got both of these score lines here and we're going to cut it to the left here. So cut this whole inside score off. And we could have done it on the trimmer too. Okay, and now we need to have pieces right here. We're going to do some pieces that are 2 7/8 inches wide. So this would be my front. This is the one we want. I don't know, you guys, something has gone totally amiss here. I do not know what has happened. You're going to get the idea. I'm so sorry. This is just, this part should be like kind of an equal amount. And now it's like super wide. Anyway, I'm going to give you the basics here. I'm going to have to come back on this one. Hi, Deborah. How are you? Hi, Molly. Oh, my goodness. You guys, I have just had the most goofy outcome here. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we've got 3 of these, and I need one more. This doesn't really coordinate all that good, does it? We can still do them pink. I like them this side. They should have been the same size as this, and I don't know why in the world they're not. I have done something wrong. Measure, obviously. I have measured wrong. Okay, and so this one, let's see how wide these are. I think, yeah, 2 7/8. That's what it's supposed to be. Somehow I've got something else goofy going on, but hey, what can I say? Gotta get this out through here. But I thought this was the cutest little thing. Why my measurements are off, I don't know. Okay, so we need 4. I want 4 of these. Actually, I could use another one. Or, I don't know if I'm supposed to have that for something else. Let me think about that for one moment. Let's see. I had already worked on one. And I'm trying to see. I had a little picture of it for myself. Let me see. I'm so sorry, you guys. You guys are probably thinking, what in the world is with her? I don't know. Let's round the corners on these two. I like to have the rounded corners. And all is not lost. I kind of wish this wasn't this pink color in here, because it really, even if I flip my little things around, it's not very pretty. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we leave the pink all inside? I don't really like the way that looks. Do you? That's not the same size. Well, that one's too big. Good grief. Oh my word. What a hoot. I don't know when the last time I had a project go so awry. Okay, what do you think? Should we leave them? Should I use the pink side, or should we flip over for a little bit of contrast here? What do you think? I mean, we're still going to see it when we flip it up. What do you think? Brown or pink? Brown or pink? Yes, Molly, doesn't it though? I don't know. Maybe just go ahead and put them pink. I don't know though. I don't really like that. I don't like either one. I don't really like this color here. I think that's my problem. Let's go ahead. Let's get some of them glued in. So we're just going to put that along there. And I'm just going to center it and put it down a little bit from the top. That was not centered from that fold. Now, if you have the size to where they come farther across there, it's a little bit easier to get them straight. This is a little tiny guy. I'm going to do this one. Yeah, they're not even the same size going that way. Okay, this one will work. Let's put this one on, and then our little outside flaps will be good. I'm going to put this at the bottom. And then I'm going to line it up this way so it comes up here and matches the sides. Now, as long as I don't... Oh, good grief. How'd that get glued? There we go. Woo! Crisis averted. And so now these guys, even if it doesn't fit exactly, I'm just going to make a little makeshift waterfall. I don't want that oozing all out. And this one is a little bit smaller. Yeah, I don't know what I have done. we'll get it done. So there's 3 there. I'm just gonna put another one. And then this one will flip up and kind of keep it closed, or down. We'll put that down. And I don't know, I think I'll go ahead and trim the corners on these. I think I'll do the smaller size on these, this 1/4 inch. Just to give it just a little bit of a curve. And then let's do the bottom one. Okay. And now this little piece, I'm going to put right here as a pocket. So I used the 1/2 inch pieces on that. So I got to trim these here. And I'm going to put a little bit of ink on it just so you can tell it's there. Okay. Well, I wish I would have left the inside section straight. Sometimes when you do these curves, it kind of takes out part of, you know, what you've got. It makes it kind of tight. That is too big. See, there is something wacky about what I've done. That's going clear into that section. That's not gonna it's not gonna work. And that's too short. Oh my word. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna use it as a tuck spot. Let's just cut a little bit more off and just use it as a tuck spot. So if you're gonna do a tuck spot, just do like on 2 sides there. There we go. So now we've got a little tuck spot right there. And we've got these. We could put a little bit more ink on those if we wanted to. I don't know. I kind of, even though I said I didn't really like that pink color, it actually looks kind of pretty with this brown on the sides. And I don't really, those are not a couple of colors I would normally, it would not be my go-to, is brown and pink. Oh, Jeannie loves it. Jeannie says she loves it. Well, actually, it's starting to grow on me. Now that we've got some, you know, definition to the sides, I think it's kind of pretty. But I do like that color. You know, I say that wouldn't be my go-to color, but you know what? Like, on the print side where they've got these flowers, I think it's really pretty. And it's basically some of the same colors that are in here. So, I mean, it's nothing, it's not a new color that they introduced on the back. They just made it a lot bigger. And this was some of that craft. I love Crafters Companion papers. I think a lot of their papers are really nice. They have a nice weight for, you know, doing paper construction type things that you might want to do. It's just a really nice weight. And it's hard to tell you what it is to look for here if you were looking for American companies, because they always do it like in grams. And most of our papers, they don't really tell us what they are in grams. It just seemed, so it's kind of like, you can't, it's like comparing apples and oranges. You just can't always get something like that, that you know what the difference is. Put some more in here. But this could be kind of cute, you know, to put it like a gift card or just keep some notes or something. I think it's kind of cute. I'll go ahead and ink some more around here. Hey, Sue. How are you? Thank you. It is becoming pretty. You know what? My mother-in-law used to say, her mom used to always say that the ugliest fabric made the prettiest dresses. And I just laughed. I mean, over the years, I would think about that, and I thought, you know what, that's probably so true. Because I would sometimes buy a piece of fabric that I just adored. I would think it was so beautiful. And when I would make something, it was awful. It just did not, you know, a flat piece of fabric that was so beautiful just did not, I don't know, just it did not turn out the same. Now, actually, you know what I'm going to do in here, you guys? I'm going to clip this off. And actually, let's cut just a little bit more off here. I'm just going to use my scissors. I'm going to just cut this off. And I am going to make a little pocket out of this for inside this section. So I'm just going to do the top, and then I'm going to glue this like this. So a little more inking on there. And then we'll just have a little pocket. That would give us just another little place to put something. And, oh, I think I put my, I put my circle punch away. You guys, I tell you what, I get more use, and I'm not going to go clear up here because it's just, it would make it so close to, I just don't want to. How about that? I want it a little bit, want it to have a little bit of give right there to open it up, to open the pocket up. So we have a little pocket right there. But I get so much use out of my 1-inch punch, you guys. If you ever are thinking about, you know, punches and you think, oh, I wonder what I would, you know, really use a lot. I tell you, those 1-inch circle punches are really handy. I don't really like this either. Since we made it a tuck spot, let's round this corner. Put this on. There we go. There, I like that better. So now we've got a pocket here. We can, you know, use these little waterfall things. You could use them for journaling. This, I don't know what happened here. These measurements are crazy. So now this is coming way down here. But what we're going to do is we are going to put a closure on this. And I'm just going to use a couple of Velcro dots. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I got Velcro dots going everywhere now. Okay, so we need, and I do like to use this brand, the Velcro brand. I haven't ever used any others. Man, those things are sticky. Why is that so sticky right on the... Hang on a second, let me grab my... I don't know why that's so hard to get off. There we go. Okay, so we got one, and I'm going to put one side kind of here in the middle. So, you know what? So, you know, actually, if you're looking for we always call them Velcro. They're hook and loop, right? So one side kind of has the little. Now it's got this glue on the back. These are really thin. What I started to say was they're really thin, and I'm gonna put this one here, and now I'm just gonna fold it over, and then it'll be right where it needs to be. Okay. So we'll stick that on there. And we're going to do one more here on the front to close that. So instead of, you know, messing around with the magnets or something, you can use this and it works perfectly well. If you can get them off. I don't know. I don't know that they're supposed to be. Well, for one thing, I have not used them in a while. It's like they're stuck to their carrier sheet. Okay, and now let's get these straight. Okay, I got it straight. Okay, now, here we go. I don't know, you could even do it like that. I kind of like that better. Kind of supposed to go this way. I don't want to. I'm going to put it this way. It won't make any difference, and I can see that little rose. Well, I don't know though. Then it's in the way of this. Nope, I think we're going to have to put it this way, you guys. Well, shoot. That was a good idea. Well, now it'll be a surprise when they open it up. I should have kind of make sure that these are squared up over here so you can see your top is square, and then just press it down. And you want to leave that a second so that it has time to stick, because it'll, even though it's kind of immediate, it'll give it just a chance for it to bond better if you will just leave it for a moment. So that works out. I wonder if I can do it now. I'm going to be gentle so we can look at it one more time. I'm going to be gentle. Okay, there we go. So there we go. There's our little thing like this, and I can open this one up. There we go, and it'll stay closed. A little pocket. That, I wonder, I hope that's big enough like to stick a little gift card in or something. This could have been a little bit wider. I'm not sure what, like I said, I'm going to have to go back and look at my measurements to share with you, because I just don't understand what I did something squirrely. So anyway, but that's it, and it's time. Oh, and I forgot, Kristi is going to be on with Funky Junk right after me. So we can go over there and see what she's up to today. So thanks for joining us for our Friday Friends creative event with Take 5, and we will see you again. I'm not gonna be on again for a live. I'm not planning to be on for a live again until next Friday, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Enjoy those you love, and if you don't, if you're not able to be with anybody that you care about, if they are not going to be around in person, give somebody a call. Call somebody. You might have somebody else that needs to have a friend for some of these days too. You guys take care. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.